Hey, come in and take a seat, and welcome to Duff's Tavern. I am joined today by one of our locals and regulars at the tavern,
Hi, I'm Bailey. I'm an author.
and Bailey has chosen the drink of the week. What have you picked this week, Bailey?
What did I pick? I picked black cherry Mike's Hard and some strawberry Mike's Hard, and I guess some strawberry Jamaican Me Happy Seagrams.
Yeah, and we'll start off this with some nice little ASMR. Now, Bailey, starting off with sort of a deep question.
Oh God.
Yeah, this is how it's going to go. What made you get into writing?
Oh shit. I guess I've always kind of been a writer. I don't know. I gotta think about that. I guess I've always kind of just had a notebook. I mean, usually when I was in elementary school and middle school, it was those like shitty black and white notebooks that you always got, the composition books.
The ones I would always doodle in,
Yeah.
basically.
Because it was just I don't know what it was about the black and white texture of having a hardcover the way it would be for like hardcover books, but they just fit so nicely with their paper cardboard quality of just doodling and going outside the lines, even though it was like the thinnest paper possible. But I don't know what it was about that either, that they would be so easy instead of like line paper. I could not fucking write for the life of me on regular line paper that you would just put into binders. But instead, the composition notebooks made me focus absurdly way too much, to the point that I would get yelled at and caught consistently in every single class, specifically math class, because I was so shit at it, being yelled at that I was either reading or writing. And it just consistent, which of course, if you yell at a young kid and you don't explain why you're yelling at them, just makes them want to do it more. So that's probably a factor. But I've always just kind of had shit in my head to just make stories up. And it's probably that's just being like,
ADHD brain
well,
having your
not
mind.
even that. It's probably like being the oldest of my set of kids, but also being like youngest middle in the larger set of kids, because we have a set of 5 and I'm like number 4 out of 5. So it's this weird mixture of like the cutoff, because the first 3 are my mom's and then me and my sister are my dad's. So I think it has a lot of that middle child syndrome that also plays into it. But I also was very easy at English. So I was told I was a good writer.
Any like writers that you liked growing up that made you like want to write? Because it's sort of like Dungeons and Dragons made me want to write a lot more, and I didn't really read that much when I was a kid. I always like grew up watching like fantasy movies and a whole bunch of movies with my dad, but I never really like started writing until like Dungeons and Dragons. So I didn't know if you have any like role models for writing. Like I know a lot of them are, well, just from what I know, like C.S. Lewis, like
I mean, I do now. It's not like in early childhood, I don't think I had role models per se. It was just very much. I also had a very hard time reading as a young kid and writing at the same time. Like I often failed spelling bees. I would felt like I was part dyslexic because I would always get like my B's and my D's mixed up. And every time I learned cursive after like 3rd grade, which I consistently make my shorthand now, just because I like it, it would just like slur together and words would repeat and it would just become very illegible, to the point that I've had to like overcorrect for that, but it still happens on occasion. I think I just liked reading. And the first book that really got me into reading was this series by oh my god, Margaret Peterson Haddix, who writes the Princess Diary series that they made into movies for Disney.
I know the movies, I don't know
Yeah.
the books.
So apparently there was like a whole series, right? And I had no idea until like 2 years ago that was even the same author for one. For another, that there was an entire series and not just one book. So I was like, oh, cool. So now that's on my bucket list to get. But, and I don't care if there's children's books. But it was just something about the one book, Palace of Mirrors, that I was just so engrossed with, that I also think partly drove me into my fantasy phase that I really like. And I still fuck with it quite a bit. But it's just, I don't know what it was about that book, probably because it was my favorite color on the exterior, but 2, it was an easy read. It was very engaging. If I look at it now with my understanding of like plot development, it has a very consistent pattern of being able to just, you start with a reveal, which is her being like, literally in the first few sentences, like, I'm the princess, but no one knows it's me. I'm hiding out in a village. And you go from that and you start having all these questions as to like, but I'm really wanting to tell people, especially my best friend who lives just down the road, that this is me, I'm here, but I can't tell anybody, and it feels very isolating. And then that escalates into like her life's in danger and she has to go on a quest, and she goes and tries to reclaim her kingdom, but that gets all fucked up. And then they have a huge reveal at the end, which I don't care if you want to know about or not, but
spoiler alert.
I mean, yeah, at this point, spoiler alert. But what's such a cool fucking thing about that, and probably why I loved the book so much, and I can't even tell you how many times I've read it, probably 10 to 20 fucking times I've read this book, and more recently in my adulthood, was that at the end of it, you get this huge fucking plot twist, which for a middle schooler was just like, holy shit. And then all I wanted to do was read novels from there. Was that it wasn't just her. She's not even the fucking princess. She is just under the illusion, as is another 12 girls in the kingdom. They all fucking think the same thing. But they all ended up going and trying to reclaim their throne in the kingdom. And they were all captured except for her. And I think her name's like Celia or whatever. But she's the one that ends up like freeing everybody. And then she talks to the other girl who's actually on the throne, being the poser princess. And she's like, no, I'm the true princess. I've heard there was a bunch of people that were coming to lie to me and try and take my throne from me. So, like, it's the biggest mindfuck. And the best thing is, her advisor is the one who fucking lied and killed off the, like, king and queen or whatever like that. And so, of course, like, all of them have, like, their advisors and everything. Like, it's a perfect match for match. There's a girl, there's an advisor, and there's the one bad guy. And the one bad guy just fucks with everybody's life. And he's like, I'm going to kill them all, but I need all of them to kill them. I'm like, that's the stupidest fucking thing now. And it pisses me off so much.
That's just bad guy logic.
I know. It's so stupid. Like, when I have all 12, I'll kill them all. And it's so stupid. But the way it was written was so engaging for, like, I don't even remember what it was, 6th, 7th grade. I was like, holy shit. I wouldn't shut up about this book. And I still obviously get that way now because I'm like, it's such a good book. But apparently, and I only just found that out this year, there's like 2 other books in the fucking series, and I'm like, I'm pissed I've waited this long in my life to read these, and I still haven't even. But the way it formatted itself into a plot just got me so excited. I'm like, I want to do that. I want to provide that feeling for other people that, like, you can, one, be transported to another world and be very engrossed in a story and not think about your life, which was my big problem back in like middle school and everything, when I would like didn't want to talk about my feelings. And 2, just to give people the joy of reading. And that's what I was like, I love this book so much for that, and it's the reason I'm like, that's my book.
So with that, are you going like more in fantasy route with your writing, or like what type of writing style do you have?
So I think the hard thing is I don't know that yet 100%, because with as much as I started loving reading, I read a lot of different things, even though I was a very slow reader and I found it very challenging. I read a lot of different kind of things, but the one that I currently have a manuscript for is like standard romance. Just 1, because it's easy. 2, it's something I read and listen to as audiobooks a lot, so I'm like, that's easy. And I have this obsession about getting through a manuscript from point A to point B, and I cannot write like separate scenes. I have to go chronologically. So if I can't get through a manuscript, I won't finish it. So it gets put on the back burner. I don't really pitch a manuscript in full unless I'm like 1, extremely depressed. 2, I usually end up coming back to it anyway, unless I'm just like, this is absolutely a terrible idea. Like, I've pitched a couple ideas, but I probably have 8 different manuscripts started.
I was just about to ask.
This is so many.
How many is on the back burner?
I have a Cinderella retelling, an Ariel retelling, a modern romance. That's this one. That's based on the Sleep on the Floor by the Lumineers music video. I have another one that's based on like the theme, but not quite the exact layout of a different music video. I'd have to look up what it's called, but that one I put on the back burner. And then I have a 5 book series that's like sci-fi based, but it's not like space sci-fi. It's like modern sci-fi dystopia. So that's 5 fucking books that I have them mapped in my head, but I have the first one manuscript to 14 chapters, but can't get past that because I just cut it off. And then I have, what else I have? I have a couple other ones that I can't think about at the moment, but
it like I have so many premises for like any of the games and stuff I run with Dungeons and Dragons. Like the most recent one I ran was actually based off of a song. What's the name of it? It's by Patty and the Rats, Ghost from the Barrow.
Okay.
Which basically is this daughter of this lead in the town starts liking this guy who is basically a thief. Dad doesn't like it.
I love those plots. Sorry.
The dad gets the guy killed, and then the daughter ends up drowning herself, and the guy's spirit comes and takes revenge and goes through the whole town and wipes it off.
Stop. I need this right now. I need you to like cut the podcast, write it. I need it. I need this to feed my soul.
So I had the whole... I played through the campaign with my players, and...
Fuck your players. Fuck D&D. I want a book, bitch. I want a book.
And like the best thing was I had loose pages of her diary around where I basically where they would find, and anytime there's like mention of her or this, I'll show you after my session notes for it. But it was basically this whole dead town. They were given the quest by like the father who was wanting. The town was haunted, like killed all the other people who lived there, and he was trying to figure out what has happened, and basically he thought they made the town on hollowed ground.
Is this the female's father or the dead male's father?
Female's father.
Okay. I just wanted to...
So basically what that is, my players were a part of this spy organization, but also takes contracts into stuff. So they went and did it, and just like most D&D players, they had their own twist on how they would do it.
Right.
Not how I thought. So I've been DMing for about 2-3 years, and anytime I assume they're going to do one thing, they go the complete opposite way.
Learned your lesson.
Yeah. No, like I even try. If you look at my session notes, I have like, if A happens, then B happens, and C happens, and then I have so many contingencies for like, okay, how will their dumbasses go off of this?
Well, that's funny because that's what I was doing in college with my last course, because I was learning coding because it was one, a major requirement for my psych degree, and I was like, duh, I'd rather do that than math. And two, it was just fun, and I didn't realize it was like, I'm pissed. I would have changed my major if I had realized that I liked coding so much, because I would have done it in high school.
Because coding is, from I know limited knowledge and a few friends who went through coding classes, it's just like puzzles basically.
It is.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point. It was like, because you got me into D&D right around the same time, that I was so invested to the point that I was sitting there writing a Python code to give me D&D prompt. And it would just sit there and be like, it would ask you a question that you have to be like, yes or no, or roll a number. And it was just so much fucking fun. But I was like, this is too much work. I don't have the skill level.
I'm about to blow your mind. There is a way to play Dungeons and Dragons by yourself.
Why have you waited this long to tell me? I need to learn.
Because I just found this out because my buddy Kyle might be going away, and he was like, yeah, I'm going to be bored, so I'm just going to play Dungeons and Dragons with myself. I'm like, what? How do you do that?
This is my question.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really go that deep into him with it because he was just like, hey, I'm about to move to this country because I might get a job here. And it hit me with that. I'm like, oh, cool.
Fuck your job. Tell me about this. See, now I feel like I have to Google this.
Yeah. But it, so I have to ask him more about that. Play it by yourself, because a lot of people can't play D&D because either they have bad DMs or no one wants to DM.
Well, I have to just think, like, if I could play by myself, I'd learn, and then I'd feel comfortable jumping in a campaign. But if you've already started a campaign, I'm like, I don't want to touch that.
I would say jumping in a campaign is one of my favorite things to do.
I know.
Because, like, if it's different if you jump in as a DM, because other DMs would be like, oh, I can cause chaos with you.
Yeah.
And every DM just is unhinged when they play. Like, broken characters, unhinged characters, like, they are the chaos of the group. Just because, like, we have to play so many characters. Like, a lot of my characters I end up making when I actually get a chance to play are, I don't care if they die. Because, like, any of the characters I've written, made a backstory for, and sort of care about, my players were just like, I'm gonna chop off his head. So, like, I've grown detached to, like, half my characters that I've played with
I mean, at least you have concepts enough to the point if you can change a few like elements, you can recycle that character.
Yeah. Except like my first character was this halfling rogue named Oxwound. I've told you about Oxwound so many times. He is my favorite character, and he's currently a DMPC in my campaign, which I love just bringing him out because I can just do an unhinged Irish accent and just threaten to murder half my players.
But it just adds another level of like one chaos, which is like to me the theme of D&D. Two, just absolute. I mean, yeah, just chaos, but it adds an entertainment level that just was not previously there, especially if it's in the middle and you're like, you've never thrown out a voice.
Yeah.
Which I know you do quite frequently, but if you haven't and then you throw that out, you're like, who are you?
Yeah, it goes from like a lot of just characters that are tired of the party shit because they are hard to get along with. We have a human cleric, a minotaur, a kenku, and an owlin.
What's a kenku?
A kenku is basically a bipedal crow that can't fly. And they're...
Aren't crows already bipedal? I mean, they don't have feet, but...
Yeah,
legs.
I guess
They
every
can
bird's
walk.
bipedal, but yeah, they basically, their claim to fame is mimicry, where if they hear a sound, they can mimic it perfectly.
Oh, it's kind of creepy, but it's kind of cool.
Yes. And the Kenku just runs. He's like, I sprint full speed in one direction.
Ooh, no, I don't want any of that.
No. He just he's like, all right, I also have a feat that I know where everything is.
Are they like the size of a crow, or are they like human or above?
I think
human
they're
height?
like 3 foot.
I mean, I guess that's still kind of creepy. All right. Well, the other question is, are they singular or do they hunt in packs?
Usually packs. Like a lot of
so much worse.
a lot of Kenkus, they're sort of like in the darks of cities. It would be a murder.
There you go. Yeah.
They're basically in like the Underdark. They're in just the shadowy alleys of cities and stuff like that. But Kenkus are pretty fun to play. Like the one Kenku I played was based off of Elton John, so he did not blend in at all. And he was a bard.
Sometimes I forget that like animals or type mythical creatures can be like human-like but not be human, and that's what fucks with me the most about D&D. I can't get past that. And I don't understand it until I see something like College Humor where they do an animation over it, and then I'm like, that's weird.
Yeah, which glad you brought that up. The College Humor Dungeons and Dragons, he's one of the Brendan Lee Mulligan's, one of the DMs that got me into wanting to be a DM. Him and Brian Murphy from Not Another D&D podcast. Just they're fun and like comedy and stuff, and their writing styles. Like Brendan has a really good, interesting writing style where like he can be really lighthearted, and then it takes like a huge, just dark twist.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it. I mean, you showed me a lot of these videos, and now I get them on my algorithm, but.
You're welcome.
And I can't undo it, but I'm like, I'm not mad about it either. But I see a lot of them from watching so much of them in how you've molded yourself into a DM. So I'm like, I can appreciate that.
Yeah. But with that, so when you're writing, like, do you make the world first? Do you make like a character? Do you have your plot? What's your first steps into writing a book?
So, unfortunately to me, I feel like I have published 8 books, but have not actually done so because they're all in my head, but half on paper. And that's the most frustrating thing because I'm like, I'm an author. And they're like, oh, what have you written? And I'm like, all of it in my head, but 1 book was published. So like, it depends on the project. So like some things, like I have this that's the other 2. I have a nonfiction book and a dark fantasy book that I think is going to build into either a singular or a 3-part series. But those are the other 2 manuscripts.
Can I be a character in the dark fantasy book?
Yes. I mean, that one's different because I really don't know where I want to take it. I do know that I want the portal to be like a one and only of like going through a mirror, very like Looking Glass Alice in Wonderland, and to end with that. And I like it simply for the Narnia aspect, which is why I was talking to you about that earlier. So it's got like Alice in Wonderland vibes. It's got like extreme dark fantasy vibes with like a lot of like death overtones. And oh, I have to play you this one fucking song later because it is so good. I am obsessed with it. It is a classical piece, and I think it's a modern classical. But every time I hear it, I just play out that book premise as a TV show, and that's the intro song. Holy shit! It just sets me in such a mood for it. I love it. I could play you bits and pieces, and it's just very much like a combination of things. But anyway, what was your original question? Because I got so far off track.
What was it? Blank page, starting a book. Where do you start first? Like,
so again, it depends on what I'm writing. So like, if it's something that has to be like world built, like a fantasy, I'll do like a 50-50 of getting the main idea. Usually most of the time when I'm writing a manuscript, it is the main idea first of like, what kind of story do I want to write and what kind of themes or overtones do I want to happen? And then I'll go into like what kind of character arcs, even if I don't know the character, what kind of character arcs do I want? Not necessarily like enemies to lovers, but like, do I want the love interest to have a dark past but have a redeeming quality that then fucks them up and then they become a suicide plot character? Like, it's just, it depends on which book I'm writing. So that will vary. And then it's usually, so it's like half world building, character arcs. I'll get either into more world building or character arc or character development depending on what I'm writing. So if it's like heavy fantasy, I'll do more world building and being like, okay, well, I really need to understand like the magic system, what's going to be the main key like symbols, or what are we working with for elements, what is everybody touching. I'll go through a lot of the five senses and be like, what are going to be the main plot points and what is going to be the main focus. So like if so one of them I have in the Dark Fantasy series is they go for like this piece of a stone, which is a part of like an arc sword. And when they go to find the stone, it's going to be focused on like auditory. So it's going to like whisper to them or something. Versus another part.
Another hand has touched the beacon. The people who get that reference will hate it.
More so like Philosopher's Stone, Harry Potter kind of thing, but yeah, I got
No, I had to make a Skyrim reference because like Meridia's beacon is like, it is worse than Navi's, hey, listen. Like that just makes like, anytime I'm replaying Skyrim, I just, like the moment I see Meridia's beacon, I do not want to like have it at all. And
do not engage.
And you can't close the chest. Like once it pops up, it's just like, here, you're on this quest, and I will now talk to you every time you forget about it. Ugh. You might be side questing, killing some mud crabs, or even fighting a dragon, but
Meridian, you're like, I'm fucking busy. Can you go away?
Foos row, fuck off.
But yeah, I mean, again, most of it's gonna depend on the kind of story I'm writing. Like the one I'm into right now, I guess the process was, I saw a music video. I was like, what a cool fucking concept, but what if we upped the ante? So it was basically the premise of the music video is that a girl is at the funeral for her father, I believe, and her boyfriend's there at the funeral, and he says, if you don't leave now, you're never going to leave this town. And so from there, she makes two split decisions. It's very much like a dual pathway of POV timelines. Mm-hmm. And in one part, she's like, no, I'm going to stay. And then you have this shadow detached from her. And then she goes off with him in the second one. And that's the one we follow through the music video, which I'm like, okay, cool. Don't love the whole dual perspective thing, but I could see where that would be kind of cool to do. And so she goes with him on a road trip. They go to like a thrift store, ditch their funeral clothes. They get a bunch of random stuff. They hit a gas station, whatever. They go on a road trip. They're going to Vegas or something. They have car trouble. This causes a back and forth. He proposes in Vegas, and she's like, this is so out of pocket. What are you doing? And he's like, I'm sorry. I was just really into the moment, whatever. She's like, no, it's okay. I'm just really tired. Let's go back to the hotel, whatever. And then that just continues into like this whole thing of just them going to like a house party. And she's like, you know what? I've changed my mind. This is a couple days later. After they've had a lot more turmoil and back and forth in the relationship. But they're at a house party where the band of the music video is playing. And she's like, you know what? We're going to get married here instead. And so they have like a house party last minute wedding. And it's just funny because everyone's in like costumes. And the person officiating has like crown from like Burger King or whatever and a chain. And so I was like, what a cool fucking concept, but I want to up the ante. Like, I don't feel extremely attached to it, but I love the concept. I was just so like, this is visually stunning. It got me emotional. And so I took that concept and I revamped it, but I'm like, what if you up the ante? How are you going to do that? So I added a second character where the person at the funeral is the ex-boyfriend and the person who died is the boyfriend of the girl. So I'm like, that's already more dramatic. And I'm like, okay, well, how are you going to play with that? Because, like, why would she go on a road trip with the ex-boyfriend when her boyfriend just died? And I'm like, I don't know why somebody would be compelled to do that unless it was the boyfriend's last dying wish. And so the ex-boyfriend has the idea to take the dead boyfriend, who they know, his ashes, and he's like, he's always wanted to do this road trip. He's talked about it a million times. Let's do it for him. We'll sprinkle ashes along the way. And so they're like, all right, I guess we'll do it for him. It's his dying wish, whatever. They go, and of course it's like a competing internal conflict of like, this feels wrong. I shouldn't be doing this with you. But at the same time, I'm like, we used to date so many eons ago. It's like having old memories. And then at some point, big plot twist. Here's the big plot twist. It's basically the same progression as the music video, but you get to a point where they lose the ashes before they can get to the final resting place. And she's like, fuck, hates herself. She's in such turmoil. He's like, all right, the ashes weren't the thing. It was the point of doing the journey. So let's finish it. They get to the top of the fucking mountain, and there's this whole other piece that I won't explain now because that's the bigger plot twist.
Saving that one for the book.
Yes, correct. Because I don't want to like totally expose it. But you get to the top of the mountain, and then she realizes that this part played a key part all along. And so she gets the resolution from that fact. And they just like close scene on a sunset. And I'm like, it's such a fun concept, but it's the humor in it is very similar to this one movie. Oh my God, what is it? It's like Paul Rudd, Selena Gomez, and this one kid who's crippled in a wheelchair, and they go and they do this road trip because the kids never, one, had a father figure, two, never really been outside anywhere because he's got some kind of immunoresponse or something like that. So Paul Rudd's like, fuck that, we're gonna go see the dumbest fucking roadside attractions. And I'm like, it is so fucking funny, but it gets you with these little bits along the way of emotional turmoil because like the kids never really had a father figure. He left the dad because he was like, I can't do this kid's fucked up, I can't do this for my life. I'm like, what a fucking dick. Two, Paul Rudd's character lost a child and he blames himself for that, and so it's a good character foil of each other, but they constantly come back and forth of like, you're not my dad, you're not my kid, why should this be my responsibility? I'm like, what great drama. And the dialogue's just so good, but the humor is so funny. I'm like, I want to play a little bit into that, and I like the way it progresses.
But comedy always makes tragedy better. Like from what I've from all the movies I watch and reading stuff like that, like you can't have just straight tragedy because humor just drives, it makes it a little bit better. Yeah. Like it's,
well, that's the thing too, because like that's a good example, but in this movie he's joking all the time that he's choking or having a heart attack or something that involves this condition. I can't remember at the moment. But at some point, it does become an issue later. Mm-hmm. And again, you get these like
Chekhov's gun
scenes. Exactly, it is a Chekhov's gun, but it's never actually happens. And the part that gets me to cry the most is right after the last scene. They have this audio over of just like, the kid died. And you're like, it made me cry too. And it makes me tear up thinking about it because it was such a good, powerful moment. But then you get to the last fucking sentence of the movie and he's like, and this is his story. He's still dicking around, choking on the floor, and he laughed afterwards. I'm like, fuck you! And it's so good because it gets you with that last bit of humor after something so tragic, even though there were several things along the way. And I'm like, it's such a good premise. So I mixed that with the music video. I'm like, it just times itself so nicely. So like that was the inspiration for that. So that basically, long-winded answer. Jesus Christ, I forgot the original question again. Took that, made meticulous notes about what I liked from each of those plots and what I could see from it, and basically was like, okay, now who's my characters instead? And I made character sheets, and I don't do these. I'm different from a lot of writers in that I don't get very meticulous because I have done that so many times that I'll stop a manuscript because I'm so over the like mystery part of it.
You get too in the weeds sometimes.
Right, and it loses the fun of writing for me. And the fun of writing is like to explore it as you go. It's the same as reading. Mm-hmm. So it's just to explore it along the way. And if I get too far into that, I don't want to do it anymore. But this is the point of like having character sheets. I need to know at least like their age, who they're related to in regards to the relationships in the book, and what they want, which has been a really big issue that I'm working on now. Of like, why do you need to know who wants what? And now that I've had it, like, there's a really good resource that says like there's 6 kinds of different wants or secrets.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, there's 3 different kinds of wants. There's like a need, a false want, and a true want, the one that they lie to themselves about. And then I compared that with another section of resources that says like there's 6 different kinds of secrets you're supposed to have in a story per character, or at least in an overarching plot. One of them's like an open secret that everybody like knows, but it's like still a secret. Just something they don't talk about. 2 is one they lie to themselves about.
Mm-hmm.
3 is like what they lie to one specific person about. 4, everybody lies about, but one person doesn't know. And it just like, it's a good writing exercise to develop plot if you have missing key plot points. And so I got to use those and filled in the gaps, and I was like, I've got it. This is the whole fucking thing. Now I understand that like it doesn't have total mystery, but I know where I'm headed enough to write a manuscript from start to finish, chapter 1 to chapter whatever 32 or whatever.
Yeah, you have a direction where they go, but also
Right.
it can change down the road too.
Right. And then my habit is always to start what I call a skeleton draft, or like a first draft or a zero draft that some people call it. And it's going to be just taking plot points of broken out chapters and just go to town. And the hard thing I have with like is being what I call a bad writer. So now I'm focusing more on that of just like, get the fucking draft out. It's not the point of, you're not even fucking close to publishing, so don't even fucking worry about it. So I get the draft out, and luckily, Russell, my boyfriend, ended up giving me this cool little tablet called a Remarkable, which is like some small independent brand that, it's like a writing tablet, but it specifically does not have internet capabilities except to upload drafts.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just like, it's expensive, but it's fucking nice. And it has like the fucking pen, like sounds like pen to paper.
Yeah, I saw that on
so
your story. I thought you just got the little thing on the iPad.
No,
yeah,
it's fucking great.
Because one of my friends got an iPad and had the Apple Pencil, and she put the sort of thing on the iPad cover that made it feel like actual paper.
Yeah.
It is a mind fuck when you use it for the first time.
It is.
But it is...
I'll have to let you see it, because that's totally fucking different of like, it has no backlighting, but it does feel like pen to paper.
Yeah.
And it's just, it fucks me up, because I'm like, I ended up writing from when I got it to the time I finished it, which was probably 3 to 4 weeks. 44 pages consistently.
Mm-hmm.
And that in my shorthand just feels like a fuck ton.
Yeah.
And granted, I was like, I finished the fucking draft on this tablet, which was so shocking to me, because I have a hard fucking time doing that on regular paper. I have a hard time doing that just typing.
Yeah.
So I was like, the amount of focus I had was just so nice. And you get to upload your manuscript and write over it in like red pen. So I'm like, I'm so excited for draft 2. You have no idea.
You can be the teacher and the student in one.
I know. I'm so excited.
But
it's ridiculous.
I use Google Docs to create all my stuff. Like I've showed you my Google Drive.
Seen your Google Drive.
It is just insane. It has session notes. It has laws of the world. It has the DM stuff where I go into more detail about different characters, their backstories, and stuff like that. I have a little like one-shots for the mini arcs we did. And that sort of just organized chaos is what I do. But when I write, I think of like the main theme for the campaign. Like, I love writing in the gray, where it's basically like, yeah, it's bad what they did, but it's basically do the ends justify the means.
So do you leave it open for interpretation? Like, you make a situation happen and then you have them explore whether that's a good thing or a bad thing?
Sort of the theme I'm working with for my current campaign is basically would you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself as a villain? So it basically, but it's a villain not by the person's choice.
Okay.
So basically what it is if any of my players are listening, I'm going to be insanely vague. It's basically like there was this paladin that was basically the hero for the war before the campaign started. Mm-hmm. Then after that, he went back to his keep, and he has not been heard from for a while. Little bit in the campaign, my players come and this abandoned keep. They start walking through the small town. It is snowed over. They kick over some snow and start finding skeletons. And they start making their way to the keep. Inside, they see like rusted armor, skeletons with spears through them, like pinned into the stone column. And they get to sort of the main chamber where the dining hall is and his chair is. They're looking around. There's nothing there. There's tattered banners and everything. They find a small pendant that is under the chair. So basically, the person the paladin killed was his sons got revenge and put him inside that pendant that is basically the power of their god that was slowly over time, him being stuck in there was corrupting him, and he's basically become a vessel for that god.
I'm sorry, all I could think of was the ring and just being like corrupt by that.
Yeah. It basically is what corrupted him. They have no clue about that, and they're going to actually release him right now.
Oh, okay.
So basically, once they release him, he will basically...
Chaos.
Yeah, chaos will happen. He basically the reincarnation of this one god. But it's just the whole, like, he was this beloved hero that had a fall from grace, not by his choice, and it was taken away from him.
I feel like I need you to help me with... Because that's the premise I want for this one fucking fantasy series that I have, and I am terrible at, like... I love reading them where they're like just very much, I don't even know what time frame it is, but very classical fantasy where it's just archers, elves, witches, and whatever.
High fantasy.
Yeah, high fantasy. But
yeah.
I can't get the dialogue or for it to sound authentic the way that I read in books. Terrible at it. But I like that concept because it's very similar to what I wanted to do, except I don't know what it is about getting this one character to have that kind of fall from grace moment, because I'm just like, I don't care. They're not the person I care about, but they're the main antagonist.
Yeah.
I can't get them to be thorough enough, and it pisses me off.
I like, even in the sort of side characters in the same campaign, I have a lot of, like D&D, DMs like making their players and other characters go through trauma. And one of them, it's like, they befriended this paladin for this church that worshiped the sun. And he grew up in the church and basically lived by its tenets and everything, became like the high paladin of it. But slowly he was starting to realize the church was corrupt and there was stuff he wasn't realizing was going on. And he is sort of going from a paladin to like an oathbreaker paladin. So now he's he's sending himself on his journey to like figure out where he actually is, because he's currently going to this frozen dwarf island to ask around about their god just to see and stuff like that. But I love writing like I said, do the ends justify the means? Because there was during the war they had what's the name of them? Automatons. But with automatons they needed soldiers, so what they would do, they would take the dead bodies from the war and put them into these automated people already.
Okay.
Yeah. I like stuff like that. Like the next campaign, I'm planning on doing Manifest Destiny, sort of a concept like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like one side is basically this sort of steampunky Western town. The other side is this like sort of druids, one with nature, and there's a mountain that divides it. And they want to have a railway that goes through the mountain. But in the middle of the mountain, there's this element, one of the four elementals that started the world. So after he did his thing, he sort of encased himself in the mountain, and that's where he stays.
Okay.
But the people don't know about that, and the druids are trying to protect the mountain so he doesn't, and that will be the whole next campaign.
So the druids know, but the westerns don't.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But that also can sort of be my favorite, my favorite, not style of writing, but my favorite thing is Great Depression era mixed with Greek stories. Like, I love Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Oh my god, I haven't thought about that.
Yes. Or even the musical Hadestown.
I don't know that I know that.
Hadestown is like I there's a handful of musicals I want to see, but Hadestown I love because it is that Great Depression mixed with Greek.
How many people write in that genre niche that you do?
Not that's what I like reading, but not many people I've found. I also haven't really looked for it that much because I'm trying to get back into reading. Like,
because I feel like that's just such an oddball mixture. If you haven't been introduced to it, you wouldn't think about it.
It's weird, but if it's done right, it is done amazingly.
No, I can imagine.
Like, going with, since it's a new year, like one of my resolutions is to read 2 books a month, just so I can, one, get back into reading and go through most of my library, which I half start. But, yeah, along with that, just try to do more content creation. Like, I'm also trying to stream a little bit more, get back into streaming. So if you want to see more of me,
plug.
Tune in to Scruffy Duff on Twitch. I play video games, come have a chat and stuff like that. You might see Baleigh in there occasionally.
Yeah, I'm in the. I linger in the chat. It's entertaining.
Yeah, but any New Year's resolutions or?
I mean, I have a lot. I mean, I just started like a 2023 binder because I'm like, I need more affirmations for myself, more than just like the one I have tattooed on my body. Like, yes, it's still a part of it.
That affirmation is pretty permanent.
I'm fine with it because I consistently have needed it for several years to the point that I'm still not in a better place without it. So I'm like, hey, at least I can see it every day. I can't run away from it, which is a good reminder. I'm almost about to get like 1 or 2 more.
I'm about to get a tattoo, another one, but it's not sort of meaningful. It's just going to be a frog on a skull playing a banjo.
Stop, that's so fun.
Yes. But also, how do you not notice, like, I forget about my tattoo on my bicep.
Oh, I do, because I'll sit there and I'll be talking to Russell on FaceTime. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I freak out because I think it's a bug.
Yeah, it catches.
And it's so fucking long.
Yeah.
It just freaks me out. Half the time I'm wearing sleeves, too.
Yeah. But, New Year's resolutions.
Oh, yeah. So I started this binder this year that I'm like, hey, maybe that'll help me a little bit more. I don't know why I feel like I have to compartmentalize a lot of things, but I do. It just makes my brain work better. Mm-hmm. To the point that I'm like, I have 15 binders now started in my head. I don't know if this is ADHD or what, but I'm not diagnosed. OCD, whatever. But this one has my affirmations on the front. It has my monthly planner because I can't do weekly planner in the pocket. And then the front is like a sheet cover over my like daily goals that are always the same, like as stupid as it is, like make your bed, like that kind of shit. And I use an Expo marker so that I can reuse the sheet because they're going to stay pretty consistent all year round. But I just sit there and Expo over it, and it's like one for every day, has a little marker so that I can color it in. And then there's a couple more sections in there that are like financial planning, really trying to focus on my student debt. And then I have this one that I still have to print off, but I just finished the other day of like a 2023 bingo card bucket list. And I'm like, how stupid, but so fucking fun.
Give me some of the squares that are on there.
Well, all right, so at least 4 of them are like draft 1, draft 2, draft 3, and draft 4 of my book.
Any like funny bucket list stuff for this year?
Oh, God. Honest to God, I did it really late at night, so I don't remember what's on it. I do know To Kill My TBR is on that, which is like all the books on my bookshelf, for anybody who doesn't know the acronym TBR. But, what was another one? I mean, it's like generic schmoozy stuff of just like spend more time with people. I think I said one oddball one that I'll push for, but I'm not going to go out of my way for. If the opportunity presents itself, I'll do it, is ziplining. I'm like, I need to get over this height fear thing. And I'm like, ziplining sounds like a fast way to do it because I don't have to look down for very long.
No, just go skydiving.
I don't want to yet. Why? I'm not there. I'm barely climbing a rock wall.
I can't skydive.
I fucking watch these videos and I have a panic attack in my seat. If somebody if they have the really intense ones where they're like diving around cliffs, I fucking throw my phone. I can't. I'm like, you're gonna hit it, and I'm not there. I'm too invested.
Which sucks is on my bucket list is to skydive, but
Russell will take you.
I can't because when I broke my collar, I can't skydive for that. I don't know.
You can't even be strapped to somebody else.
No, it's just like the altitude. I don't know. Don't quote me on it. It happened back in high school, but I do not remember what the doctor said. I just remember No skydiving. That is ingrained in my head
Damn.
because it's something I wanted.
Sounds like the next tattoo. No skydiving. And then you have a stick figure.
I'm just gonna memento myself for like stuff
There
I
you
shouldn't do.
I mean, you could go to a doctor again and get a double clarification.
Or I just skydive and see what happens.
That too. I mean, if you hurt, you hurt. Advil PM all the way down.
You'll just see a message in the group chat of just me in a hospital bed.
I live, bitches. Oh my god, I could see it too. That's the fucking sad part.
Yeah,
You make me worry because now I know you're going away in a couple weeks too. And I'm like, joy.
No, I'm just going to Vegas. I won't.
You know what you could do in Vegas? Get on a plane and skydive.
But will I do that in Vegas? That's the question.
I don't know. I barely know what you're doing in Vegas, so.
Just gambling and drinks.
Right. So after gambling and drinks comes the smart decision of skydiving.
I don't know. We'll see where the night takes us and how high.
So when I get the notification in the text group, I'm gonna be like, this bitch.
Yeah, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, even if I lose my life.
Except you fall on a fault line and you're like, it's over here, and over there.
Yeah, I'll just haunt 3 states. That's a fun thing. But yeah, I don't really make New Year's resolutions because like I never follow them. Mm-hmm. I always go too broad and big.
Yeah.
So now I'm just like, I need one thing. Mm. That is it. The rest of the stuff I've been just trying to get myself in the habit of doing, like everyone else, go to the gym. But I have been doing that for a bit. I just need to get more consistent with that.
Yeah, I make it like actionable habits that like have actual direct consequences for what I want. So like if I don't work out, I'm not gonna feel good in like a couple months, and I like want to get my energy up. And every time I feel like shit from like not drinking caffeine or whatever, I'm like, okay, but you would have felt better had you had your whey protein smoothie, or if you had fucking worked out like you're supposed to. And that guilt factor helps me in a really weird way that some people might not fuck with in that kind of regard. But then I have the few that are just like, this could be fun. And they kind of just like stay there, and if it happens, it happens. It doesn't, because there's no direct repercussion for that.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't have any guilt, so that's
something between you and me that's very different. I have enough guilt to last a lifetime.
Yeah, I've been friends with Baleigh since senior year. We went to high school together. It was junior year because that's when I had that amazing Captain America shirt that ripped. That is how
I mourned for that shirt in a way that I shouldn't, and I didn't think about till you said it. I hate that.
It was such. I don't know how I forget how it ripped, but it was like, I know we had superhero day in high school,
right?
So I wore that, and like I was nothing like Steve Rogers. I was not blonde. I was not skinny. I was basically a sort of. Not chunky, but more athletic build. I was healthier in high school until I broke my collar. But I also had like what everyone called the mountain hairstyle because I basically brought the front of my head up to a point and super gelled that where I looked like a unicorn.
Yeah, now that I think about it, yeah.
Yeah, in practice, the coaches would make us run until my hair fell.
No,
yes.
Why have I not heard this? But it also makes so much fucking sense.
Yeah, all my high school rugby coaches, we would be doing conditioning. They're like, we're not going to stop conditioning until Liam's hair falls. So like, anytime like people would run by me and like lap me whenever I was running, they would like tussle my hair and they would just like stick back up, and then you just hear like a groan and they just like keep running.
Just God damn it.
Yeah, I was loved and hated on the team because of that reason.
I'm surprised I haven't heard that story before. That's funny.
I forgot about it until the hair. Because like I forget how much I gelled it. Because I had the 2-week glutes.
That was a fuck ton of gel. For somebody in high school that was like, you're not like caring about your look, but not caring about your look so much. Just wow.
I also went from like the bowl cut to that. So it was like a drastic difference.
True.
Yeah. Like it was a bad bowl cut too.
I don't think there's a good bowl cut out there, to be honest.
There is a good bowl cut. Stranger
On the right
Things.
people? No, those are still bad.
No, the Stranger, I forget his name in Stranger Things, but
Will?
Will. He has a cool bowl cut.
Noah's bowl, they did him dirty. That is not
it was good the first few seasons, but when he got older, it got weirder.
It did get weirder. I will say that.
But Coconut Head from Netzy Classified. Superb bowl cut.
That is the same fucking hair. You cannot tell me otherwise. I swear to God, no. That is the same fucking thing. That is a wig implant on a different child. It is the same fucking wig. No.
Coconut Head walked so Will could run.
I need this to be a meme on a shirt in your merch store.
Maybe, if I get around to like drawing it myself.
Just get the licensing. It's fine.
Oh yeah, no. I'll go talk to Netflix next week. They need money, so
you can get the images. You just have to pay for the license.
I'll just go on like what is it, MS Paint, and just crudely draw that.
I mean, to be fair, if you do it on like a tablet or whatever, you put the image down, you make the layout, and then you just draw over it. It's not the same image if you make like a few differentiations.
Yeah, his name's not Will, it's Bill.
I mean, if you want, the only people who's gonna get it to listen to this episode, but yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Finn.
Yeah, my dog is currently outside the podcast room, and he is he's clingy. So he's been whining the whole time. I've been putting puppy jazz on for him to try to make it work, but it doesn't work.
Has he been through any training, or do you have experience training a dog?
I mean, I grew up with labs throughout my family.
Okay.
So like
So this one's an oddball then?
Yeah, this one's an oddball.
Okay.
Like all the other ones I remember like were always fine by themselves, but I think he just loves people so much because like he grew up with, when I would go to work, I would just drop him off at my family's house before I went to my shift, just because he was like
and and his behavior doesn't change around other dogs?
No, he loves dogs. He is super happy.
But he's not like calmer?
No, he is 24/7 hyper until he is asleep, and then he is snoring. It sounds like a car.
Never left alone.
he sounds like a car idling.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
He's a big boy.
But he's a good boy. He's my first dog. He is a black lab that is not even 2 years old yet at the time of this recording.
He's as big as
He is 92 pounds. He is English standard, so he has a big block head.
He's scary big for his age.
He is.
He's so sweet.
He's
so cute.
Nicest dog ever. But if you want to see pictures of him, Scruffy Duff on Instagram.
Plug.
Yeah, I mean,
you're learning.
I've only had like years of this through like my failed YouTube channels.
We don't talk about failed YouTube channels.
Oh my God.
I feel glad that my subscribers have only diminished by one in the last like little bit
I have
of
like
time.
5 different channels where like I was trying to do Minecraft stuff at one time with my buddy Campbell. Then I went to like do the D&D stuff, and then I don't know, I just make too many channels.
You have the same problem Russell does, but instead he does Gmail accounts because he doesn't want to have the sign-ups in the same email.
Oh, I have so many Gmail accounts. I have my normal one, and then I have one for video games and sort of my spam one. Then I have the one for this podcast. I have the one for my other podcast. Like, I didn't
even think about the ones I have for my podcast.
Yeah, no, that's a whole different beast when you have to like get it just to make it separate, because I have to make an email like that just in case like anything comes through. It's not in the piles.
You can find it
of my like 6-year-old high school email that I still use.
Oh my God, I couldn't tell you where the fuck that is.
Like, I haven't changed my email since high school. I haven't changed my phone number since high school.
Yeah, I haven't changed my phone number.
Yeah, I've kept the same one. But
I mean, for those who listen that don't care, I've changed my number. It's definitely different. Don't fucking contact me. I don't need to hear from certain people.
Yeah, she doesn't want to hear from me. She doesn't hang out with me.
He dragged me here. I didn't come here by my own free will. Help, please.
Yeah, we're going axe throwing later tonight. And
yeah, I'm on the board.
So she was, after work, she's like, I have to figure out some time to kill between this time and this time. I'm like, I'm kidnapping you for this podcast because this is the only time.
Yes, because this is what idea you give me at 6:30 in the morning.
Yes.
I'm still asleep.
In my defense, I was up since 4 a.m., so I waited a few hours.
Oh, I appreciate that. At least it wasn't your first thought and was like, this would be a nice good morning text, but instead it's like, hey, we should do a podcast today.
No, my good morning texts are usually just
out of pocket things.
Yeah, no, the group chat has had a few like weird good morning texts.
Usually.
Like, we gotta get everyone in the group to come and just...
My God, one podcast episode with the amigos is just gonna be unhinged.
But unhinged is the best. It's the best for this tavern.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm already regretting it, and we haven't done it yet.
She's already having headaches because through all my friendships, I'm an instigator.
Yes, you are. But you're the good instigator. You know boundaries. It's just not. You'll still push them.
I'll still push them and dance on them. Like, our friend group is made out of 2 other people, Hannah and Daniel.
It has to be stereotyped for people to get it, though. Like, I don't even know how to stereotype.
You're the mom of the group?
I got that, but, like, I feel like if that's my only defining factor, I've done something wrong in life.
No, you're the mom. I'm the unhinged crackhead. Hannah's the workaholic, and Daniel is the recluse.
He is, and Hannah's also the same as, like, the moody teenager.
That is very true.
You all wear me out. Hence mother.
Yeah. And like Baleigh just gets calls of like anytime I have ideas for a podcast, I just call her, and no matter if she's at work or doing anything, it's just like Liam is calling, she picks up unhinged, unfiltered thoughts.
But that's easier to deal with than like, come do something. I'm like, I'm tired. I've been at work. I'm going to bed in 2 hours.
I've threatened to kidnap you many times, and this is the only time it's been successful.
Well,
please do not take that out of context at all.
TikTok. It needs to be a viral video. But no, I mean, most of the time it was the fact that I didn't live here.
That sounds like a you problem. You should have just came here.
It was a me problem. It's still a me problem that I have to borrow people's cars to get here.
Just get a bike. There's your exercise. It sounds like exercise right there. Just get a bike.
I'm a lazy fuck. I don't need to fucking do that.
Get a motorized one then.
That sounds dangerous.
No, that's just a motorcycle.
I know. I want one, but it sounds dangerous.
I want one.
I don't trust people in this state to not run me over.
Oh, I'll get a motorcycle. I just need cash first.
I need blockers so no one fucks with me.
You need the bumpers for like bowling lanes. The child bumpers.
Fuck away from me.
Oh god.
With the stabilizer, just hold it up. This has gone so far from writing.
No, it's basically like the concept of this is just we have a topic, we talk a little bit about the topic, and then just unhinged. It's barroom discussions.
I know. Just that's all I think about. So I'm like, writing. Let's go back to that.
That's how I pulled you in. It's just writing, and then it's like no conversation.
Yeah.
But and so there's a show on Netflix I've been obsessed with lately. And I don't normally watch stuff. I'm terrible at watching stuff by myself. Like I have so much anime shows I have not watched along with like normal shows. Like I have restarted Peaky Blinders. Peaky Blinders I've restarted so many times.
I've heard it's good.
It is really good. The only TV show that I've fully watched through by myself is the entire Breaking Bad series.
I didn't finish that.
It is amazing, but the most recent one is on Netflix. It is Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
What is that?
So basically, it goes.
Oh wait, is this the Blade Runners thing?
No, sorta same genre,
Universe?
Same genre.
Okay.
But Cyberpunk started out as a tabletop RPG, and they recently, CD Projekt Red released a video game of it. The video game did all right. It had a little rocky start. It's better now. I have currently, after watching Edge Runners, has dropped about 75 hours in the game. And
to each their own.
It's been about 3 weeks since I watched it.
That's a little different.
Like
75 hours in 3 weeks is a bit different.
A little bit. I mean, I was playing it when you came over.
I'm not surprised.
But it basically it takes place in Night City, and there is it's a new thing, so I'm not going to spoil it. But the main character is this 17-year-old kid named David Martinez, and Cyberpunk is basically like sci-fi but in slums. So you have a whole bunch of the corpos, which are just corrupt corporations, and then you have the kids who grew up on the street, and there's gangs and different stuff like that, and it's basically just battles on the streets and along with cybernetic augmentations.
Okay. Okay.
So it is really good. It is amazing story and will wrench your heart. Like, anyone who's watched Edge Runners, the I Want to Stay at Your House song, they will hate. It was amazing in the game, but until you watch the show, it is terrible because of what happened. You would love it because it is basically like any heist or mafia movie.
Okay.
It's this. It will spoil it if you know what is happening, like how most of those end up. Mm-hmm. But watch it. There is a lot of tits, ass, and cartoon sex scenes.
It's animated. I'd be surprised.
But it is like one of the most recent shows that I've watched and am now recommending everyone to watch. Like, I've told a few of my coworkers about that too.
I will say the only thing that recently got me back into like, oh, I want to write again out of my like small slum that was a TV show was Arcane. Everybody fucking likes it, but like it's good for writing.
It is the League of Legends. Like a lot of the video game writing is terrible. Mm-hmm. Like if they try to like adapt something, that's why I'm really nervous about the Last of Us TV show on HBO. Because I love The Last of Us.
I did not know that was going to be a thing.
It is. I am really nervous because I love Last of Us. Both. Like, it is one of the best writings, and I'm going to give a hot take. Last of Us 2 is a really good story, and if you hate it just because Joel died, what the fuck did you expect? Ellie's grown up. He was going to die. It's not happy. It's a zombie world. That is the biggest thing I got pissed off about hearing online. It's like, they killed off Joel. What the fuck did you expect?
It's a sequel.
Yeah, you saw Ellie grown up. Put two and two together. Not even talking about like Beefcake Abby and her side of the story.
I've watched so much like playthroughs that I haven't played it myself, but I get most of like the commentary behind it, and I actually find that kind of surprising. Like, to me, I didn't understand the hate, but like I guess I'm not surprised that you feel that way, but I found it surprising that some people were against the second. I was just like, but it's still a good story. I don't get why you're mad.
It is a good concept of revenge, if taken too far, will just hurt you in the long run.
True.
Because I'm going without spoilers here, but like Ellie goes on a whole tangent of revenge, and it's just not where she thought she would end up at the end of it. And it's just a really depressed and sad ending for that world. Like, there's a lot of video game stories that I absolutely love, and Last of Us 2, I pre-ordered, and the day it came out, I just played it straight to the end. Like, I was at my parents' house at the time, and I just locked my door, just sat there, and just played.
Hunker down.
Yeah, I just played the game.
Just pull the hood over, hermit.
Yeah, I just entered gamer mode, just hood up, just looking at it, and then like the moment there was a switch from like Ellie's story to Abby's story,
I was finally like, breathe and blink.
No. I was like, no, fuck, don't make me like this bitch. Like, I didn't want to learn her story because I hated her, and then like I learned her story. I'm like, ah, shit, you're making me care about her.
See, I feel like the people who didn't like Last of Us 2 are the same people who just binge watched Walking Dead, but did not fucking like it because certain people died. And then they were like, okay, but this part of the season forward sucks. I'm like, that's stupid. It's supposed to be a large world. You're supposed to get invested in several characters, not one.
Yeah, it's just like getting mad if someone died at Game of Thrones and be like, throw out the whole thing before season 8, but... But yeah, there's a lot of like video games a lot lately have been like amazing in storytelling.
They've been not afraid to kill people.
No, they're not. Like even like the change in like the old God of War games was just a hack and slash beat 'em up to the more modern ones. Like, it is more of a just story of like Kratos and his son Atreus. Like, they're going on this thing where you basically see the two sides. You saw like Kratos was angry and hate-filled and getting revenge on the gods, and you see him, after his wife dies, like, he's a little bit more, he still has that Spartan rage in him, but he's a little bit more composed, and, like, a lot of the games lately have been better in storytelling than the past, but that's also just, like, how I fully am behind video game is an art form, because they are.
They are.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of, like, It's going to make some people mad, but esports is also a sport too, in my opinion.
I don't know how I feel about that one, Chief.
I will argue because it takes... Anyone can come up and play the game. Like, I can go play Counter-Strike, League of Legends, like...
Yeah, but you have to have skill to be good at it.
Yes, that's what makes it a sport.
I'm not saying I don't agree with the logic. I just don't know that I agree with what you're saying, which is conflicting.
Yeah. I mean, they consider poker a sport, too, but you also have to have skill.
It's a game.
I
get it, but
it's also a game of skill and manipulation at the same time.
Right, but I don't consider that a sport.
There's a lot on the line with money.
Doesn't mean it's a sport.
I don't know. Tell FIFA that.
I don't disagree. I'm saying like, some things don't need to be classified in certain things.
Yeah, but any like, I know you don't really play video games, but has there been a few any games in the past that have like their story has like stood out to you?
All right. So the only one that I played fully through all several games was Uncharted. Fucking love Uncharted. I'm pissed. Horrible of me, but I'm pissed. I broke up with my boyfriend previously simply for the fact that he had the access to all 4 games and I can't play them anymore. That's the only thing I'm mad at anymore. I want to play them, but that requires getting a console.
I would say Uncharted 1 through 3 was good. 4, I didn't like 4. I didn't like 4 because like he has a brother. That was never mentioned in the past 3 games.
I will agree with you there. I wish they had put more Easter eggs throughout the games to, like, give the concept of Sam. Like, if there had just been, like, a note that just says Sam on it, would have been something better than just nothing. Even if he brushed it off as a character, was like, oh, that's nothing.
Or, like, in his journal or, like, somewhere, there's, like, a photo of just him and this random other person. Like, it probably was like, oh, we have the 4th game. Let's give him a brother. Yeah. Because, like, you can't really do much after the lead characters got married.
Arguably, if the brother had been Sully's brother, would have been, like, this whole, like, daddy-son complex.
Yeah.
Had been the thing. I think that would have arguably been better than Nate having a brother.
Yeah. Did you watch the Uncharted movie?
I think I've watched it twice now, and I almost want to watch it a 3rd time because I still have not made up a full opinion about it.
I haven't seen it. I've been, like, most video game movies, I'm hesitant about it.
It's shot well. I'll give you that. And the CGI is done pretty okay. Like, it's still, it's CGI. Like, you can see it. But they do the CGI in a way that it mimics a video game. So I'm like, I'm forgiving of that because I know it's coming from a video game.
Yeah.
Had I not played through Uncharted previously, I would have probably thought it was a bad movie.
Yeah. I mean, that's like the last video game movie I watched was Assassin's Creed. And I'm a diehard Assassin's Creed fan to the point where I got a tattoo of it on me. So right on my forearm where anyone can see is just Assassin's Creed right there. And I watched the movie and like I didn't like it.
I didn't watch it too.
Oh, they had the great thing about Assassin's Creed is you have all the time to do it. But they just did it terribly. Like
was it rushed or?
It was rushed. It was also like it's just like the Netflix live action stuff of the anime.
Oh.
It's just like they have this concept behind it, but they don't have the writers to go through with it. That's why the One Piece live action one I have decent trust in because everyone who is acting and writing it loves One Piece.
How do you feel about the new reboot of Avatar? Now that they're putting out the cast list?
James Cameron Avatar?
No. Like Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like they're building it into like a shot-for-shot reboot of the series.
Are they doing it with actual people?
Yes.
Oh,
live action. You haven't heard about this?
No, I haven't.
Oh my god, it's so good.
The last live action Avatar I heard was the movie one. That was terrible.
Fucking terrible. Oh my god. The amount of I've never been so violent about someone else's art in any fucking way. I love that series with so much fucking that is nostalgia that I'm mad over the poor execution of this movie. You could have still done a rush job and like booked out all of the movies and just short released them into like maybe larger like 2-hour segments and made it like a series release instead of a movie.
It's like what they should have done with Percy Jackson.
Right, and that probably would have been better,
Mm.
but the way they executed that was just so fucking terrible. There was, I mean, what gets me the most is that the direct dialogue from Katara, which all of it's in her fucking monologue, is, oh my god, I forget what her name is, but the white-haired princess that becomes a moon.
Oh God, I know it.
Yeah, so she's
I know what
like,
you're talking about.
she is Sokka's new friend. I'm like, bullshit, they're friends. They were fucking. You can't tell me otherwise. No. Friend? No. Alright, I lost it from there. I was like, this is the First of all, whoever fucking wrote the scripts was not an avid watcher, so that you already fucked up. If you're making an adaptation of something, get someone who's a fucking fan, and not even a fan. They need, like, several fans and one super fan to get shit accurate. Because otherwise you make a shit movie.
That is exactly why Henry Cavill left The Witcher.
I know.
Like, The Witcher was one of my favorite games. It just, the fantasy aspect, the darkness of it.
I want to read them.
Oh, I gave the first book to someone. I think Daniel, maybe? I don't know. I have to track that down. But no, it's just the writing and everything. And Henry Cavill being like,
he's a nerd.
he is a nerd. Like, he did Superman, then went to do Geralt, and he read all the books, played all the games, and basically what happened is the internet has Henry Cavill's back. Like, there are memes of, like, the Kevin Hart on the girl as Henry Cavill, Witcher friend, the internet, and it goes over to Witcher writers of just the looking at you. Because he loved the source material so much, and they did, like, Witcher has an amazing source. Like, even if you don't do Geralt, like, the world is strong enough where you can do different stories, which they tried with the I think it's Blood Origin. I think that's a new one. Terrible.
My sister-in-law and brother were just watching that, and I'm like, I don't know that I haven't even finished season 2 of fucking Witcher. Firstly,
I stopped. Like, they took one of the main characters and completely killed him off. Like, one of the 3 people that was supposed to be left at Kaer Morhen died.
Is that in the source?
No, it's not in the source. Even in the games, which don't go along with the books but take place after the books, they're the 3 people who are still at Kaer Morhen
are still in that.
Yeah, they're still there.
Okay.
I'm blanking on the names. I forget.
I'm not gonna lie, I watched season 2 twice. Once to get the action, the second time to really hear them, because one, it was so dropped down. 2, you had to watch with subtitles.
It was the dude that turned into the Leshy. That he was supposed to still be alive after everyone left Kaer Morhen. Like, him and another. It was Geralt, Ciri, Vesemir, and then these 2 other Witchers. I'm blanking on their names because I haven't played the game in a year. They were supposed to, like, survive, and the writers, it was the infamous, like, oh, I knew better than the source material. No, motherfucker, you don't.
If you're not a fan, no, the fuck you're not.
Adapted, and that's why Henry Cavill left, is because he didn't want
to him.
Yeah, and now he is going and starting Warhammer series with Amazon, which, like, if he is behind it, he will do it amazingly.
He'll do it justice.
And, like, Warhammer is... I don't know much. I haven't gotten much into Warhammer because I've just been hyper-focusing on D&D. And that mythos, because there's a lot. And there's a little bit of controversy with D&D nowadays that might affect content creators with it. Because Hasbro and their most recent, I forget the name of it, most recent copyright agreement might be pulling the free use thing. You know how, like... how Dimension 20, like, all of them can post it on YouTube and not be tagged, have it taken by Hasbro as their, like, ID.
Right.
That's being taken away in these. It is. And there's been a huge petition in doing that. I have to read up a little bit more on this. This is just what I've heard from the D&D community on TikTok, which is... might believe him, might not believe him. I don't know. I have to read into it. But a lot of people are saying to pull your D&D Beyond subscription just because if they want to take away our money and our...
Take away theirs.
Yeah. Because, like, D&D had a giant boom. Like, it's hit, like, a new renaissance along with Critical Role. And then COVID has made a whole bunch of people, like, into Dungeons & Dragons and just the tabletop RPG community. Yeah. Which, again, adds...
Well, Stranger Things also did that, too, because that was a public forum to showcase that.
Yeah. But along with Critical Role, which I think started in, like, 2014 or stuff
Pretty early.
Yeah, it started like when we were in high school, and still it's one of the most streamed, most watched streams on Twitch, and along with it's massive. But like, I don't know where it's going. Hasbro is just getting greedy with doing that move because like all D&D stuff was under the fair use and people could use it, but if they take that away, I don't know.
Part of YouTube's gonna tank if that's the case.
Yeah, a good bit of YouTube, a good bit of, I wouldn't say Spotify, but like the tabletop RPG community. Even like the people who've released their own source books in like 5e sort of edition, but their own sort of thing. Like I have a few books.
It means a lot of Discord's gonna go down too. Like, at least activity-wise.
Yeah, I mean, you can still play it. You just can't record it or post it anywhere.
Right, that's what Discord is a lot of, like, use for.
Yeah, a lot of live streams, a lot of video series for stuff like... It's just another instance of, like...
I wonder if... Because, all right, so there's this movement on TikTok that's based on a book series that I'm in love with by Sarah J. Maas that's really popular right now, is The Court of Thorns and Roses. People are obsessed with it. It's basically high fantasy smut. Anyway... So people have gotten to such a fan base with it that they've started making their own, like, Starfall balls. And they'll, like, go and they'll rent a venue and people will come and they'll purchase tickets and whatever. And it just keeps funneling. And there's, like, 15 of them now across the U.S. throughout the year. So, like, they're all based around that premise, which is super fucking cool. But that's what made me think of that. I wonder if everybody in the D&D community just kind of made, like, a GoFundMe or whatever. And just, like, funneled into that to buy the licensing in order to have one platform to run your D&D campaign. So it was like a Twitch, but for D&D only.
I don't know. It's already like a niche market. Like,
it's not that small though.
It is grown a lot more, but still in the whole aspect of the internet, it is still niche.
Sure.
But like what a lot of people are trying to do, because along with its big people live streaming on Twitch and stuff like that, if that gets taken away, it will not really ruin the community, but it a lot of the people have been advocating for supporting more third-party platforms of like D&D, like source books. There's people who've like made like tabletop modules, or like they have to figure out how they're going to word their and
so
publish.
You basically can't say it's Dungeons
Yes,
and Dragons, but you can say it's like, you know, Princesses and Prairies or fucking something. I don't fucking know.
Princesses
with
and
alliteration.
Prairies.
I don't fucking know. But something with that would be a different
sorta. I have to read up more on this before.
Because I feel like they're gonna fight, if anything, on like the type of monsters and stuff you can use, and you can't use those. Those would be freaking devastating more than anything, I think.
Because there's a lot of like owlbear, for example, like that is just a Wizards of the Coast or a Beholder, or can't really get much into dragons because dragons have just been a concept throughout history.
Yeah,
but it's just like it's them just shooting themselves in the foot instead of like capitalize. It's what Nintendo did for the longest time, like always copyright striking.
Oh yeah.
Nintendo videos on YouTube, which like it's a good advertising thing, because a lot of these podcasts and stuff, if they didn't have the like fair use where they could make their own stories and post it, like the D&D community wouldn't have as big as a bump in a renaissance as it is now, along with the tabletop RPG community as a whole. But we'll see how it goes. Maybe.
I mean, we've seen it with The Witcher and everything like that. Like, if the community can back it, they'll change some things, at least.
Possibly.
We've seen it with one other thing. What was it? Oh, well, Avatar. That was the whole point of that conversation, was that because the internet was like, fuck this movie.
Or Sonic.
Well, that too. They fucking changed that. That was ugly. I didn't even watch them. There was just like, I want nothing to do with that. But the internet backed it to the point that they were like, let's change it to appease them so we can make more money. That's the smart way to play that. And by the way, because you haven't seen this, the casting, look it up, because they're actually using people of like indigenous in color, and like it's accurate.
Nice.
It's so good. And there's a few people that like you wouldn't necessarily be like, you couldn't pick them out from face, but if they give you a name, you'd be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. They're not going to go so direct, but it is going to be like very much just the way it should have been, with the right people, right people of color, not whitewashed people pretending to be indigenous. Like, it's just, oy. And it looks so promising. I'm still hesitant to be like fully invested in this, but I want it to work so bad. And I just need to know who's going to play the Cabbage Man. That is the most important character in this fucking series.
When the show comes out, I'll bring you back on here so you can just go on a full rant about it.
I'm going to have to watch season 1 in full, and I'm going to have to watch the live action season 1, and then just go into like extreme detail, because that's the only way I'm going to get it out of my system.
Yeah, I'll have to somehow like convince you to come over here again.
Yeah, that's difficult now that I live here.
It seems to be.
It's only difficult because it's like, somebody has to have a day off where my timeline works, because if you're like, let's hang out at like 8 o'clock because I get off at 8, I'm like, I'm in bed already. You can't ask me to come out. I'd fucking go to sleep in an hour.
You have to let the plans be known before like noon.
Way prior. I mean, preferably like a week prior, and it needs to stay that way and not be changed.
Wait, I'm spontaneous. I do stuff on the spot.
You're spontaneous but flexible for other people's schedules. The people who make our jobs difficult is the people who are like, I'm off this time. We formulate a plan. They're like, actually, I'm not showing up.
Or I pick up a shift.
Pick up a shift on a different day. We work so hard to get this together. I'm honestly contemplating that everybody gets a month. Like, it alternates.
Yeah.
And you have to make the plans. All of it. All of it. Everybody doesn't show up.
Except I have the easiest schedule. Friday through Sunday, I'm always off.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, February 1, everybody submits a date that they're free, and we're all going to go on one of those dates. That person then says, okay, here's the date we're doing. I will make the plans. Here's the address on the day of. Makes it so much easier.
It would, but into action, it won't. I
know it won't, but I want it to work.
We've tried to. That's why I like texted the group chat and was like, we need to hang out at least once. Make an effort for once a month.
Do you know how many times today we all clarified the plans?
Yes.
Because we have unreliable people in our group.
And that is also why I made the douchebag jar thing. So,
I know, and it should be a thing.
Which that is amazing. You can share notes on Apple.
Yes, it is.
Like, I was sitting on the toilet. I'm like, I'm going to make this.
Nothing better to do.
Exactly. Scroll through TikTok. Why not? No, I just made this. I sent it to Daniel to, like, get his opinion on it. He's like, I love it. Then I sent it to y'all.
Yeah, except Daniel's going to be the one putting in the most money. Except for maybe Hannah.
Yeah. I will get it because my unhinged voice.
I'm just going to get Doc because I'm like, I'm tired. I want to go to bed.
Yeah, the $3 sleep fee.
If I don't fall asleep, does it count?
Well, we're putting the bar stools up and cleaning down the bar. It is about closing time in Duff's Tavern. I'm aggressively like polishing a glass in front of you right now, and
get the fuck out my tavern.
You're still trying to figure out if the kitchen's open or not.
You know what sounds good? Grilled cheese.
No, you get peanuts. I hope you enjoyed Duff's Tavern, and I know you'll definitely be back for another drink.
Toodles.
And all the other listeners and people sitting, pulled up a bar stool, listening to this bartender talk to this writer who has walked into my tavern.
Everyone else is just being completely like neglected from this entire conversation.
Oh, I made like no tips. I was just like, I hope you tip well.
Actually, about that, I have no money.
Oh. And
I sweep the floor.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you work somehow.
There we go.
Hope you guys enjoyed Duff's Tavern.